Feud this morning at 8 on Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the KOAM Toy Box Drive is still going strong. We'll hear how the city of Neodesha is partnering with us to help a local family this Christmas.
Plus, the EPA could be forcing Kansas and Missouri to change out lead pipes. We'll have the details on the impact that this could have on area residents.
And we've got a pretty nice start to the day across the area. It's a little on the chilly side. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 o'clock now on this Tuesday.
Toy Box
We've been
Tuesday.
talking about Toy Box Tuesday, and I already forgot what day of the week it is. It's been a lot of fun, and it's only Tuesday, and we're not even to the telethon for today.
I'm excited for that, though. It's always a good time.
Oh, it
I
absolutely
love it.
is.
Lots of energy in here.
You see some of the toys we've got here, tons more over there, tons more you can't see, and it's only thanks to your donations. So do make sure that you take time to call in your donations during our telethons at noon, 5, 6, and 9 now. And of course, if you don't have time to make the call, you can donate anytime through our website as well.
Of course.
And speaking of our Toy Box campaign, one of our many partners out there.
That's correct. The Neodesha Police Department is partnering with Toy Box to help make a difference in the community. In addition, the police department adopts a family for the season.
KOAM's Amber Jenkins has the story.
We all need help every once in a while, whether it be during the holidays, whether it be cold weather. We got groups that do coat drives and everything else, and we just try to do our part where we can and when we can.
The Neodesha Police Department doesn't just partner with KOAM's Toy Box to help kids in the community each holiday season. The department also hosts a fundraiser that benefits a family in need.
Since we've been doing this, we've raised over $3,000 and have donated it to public. Sometimes some years are slower than others. We can donate sometimes to a couple of families out there, and then sometimes it's just one family, depending on how well the fundraiser goes.
Although toys might be on the children's minds, Police Captain Sam Tomlinson says this donation is for other items.
We decided to go ahead and go with the gift card because you don't know if they need the electricity or do they need food or do they need this. So it's just easier to go with a gift card.
Captain Tomlinson says this is possible because of the support from the community. Reporting in Neodesha, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
This is the 6th year the Neodesha Police has raised money to benefit a local family.
And as we were discussing, if you'd like to donate to our Toy Box campaign, you can do so through our website or by scanning that very large QR code on your screen. You can also join us, as we mentioned, for noon, 5, 6, and 9 o'clock Newscast Day. We donate during our telethon. We've got volunteers standing by to take your donations over the phone, and please just give whatever you can because it makes sure that every child in our area has a Merry Christmas. And I can tell you, this program does have a significant impact. That's why we've been doing it for 35 years.
Wow, that's so great. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, right?
35 years, we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of area children have been helped. And now those children are our age. And maybe you're donating now because this helped you when you were growing up. So just make sure you give as you can.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give you some weather. How's that sound? It is a free gift every day that we provide. And we take a look from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Take a look. This is what we call mostly clear. If you've ever wondered, it's where we've got just a handful of clouds out there, but otherwise the sky is mostly clear. Mostly means that there's a few clouds out there, but it's not a bad start to the day. Now the MoDOT camera looking a slightly different direction back to roughly the northwest, and you can see from that perspective it looks completely clear. So it all depends. It's all about perspective. 39 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh right now, and we'll continue to see clouds increase a bit through the morning. We're going to go partly cloudy today. For most of us, highs upper 40s. Some of us out west could make some lower 50s, so just a pinch below normal or maybe right at. Northwest winds, though, pick up. They're going to start gusting 20, maybe 30 miles an hour out there. We're going to stay clear or partly cloudy through the evening, and the winds will calm down. We have a system we're watching this weekend, though. We'll have a look at that here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. A proposed rule by the Environmental Protection Agency could force Kansas and Missouri to remove hundreds of thousands of lead pipes within the next decade. The proposal would update the lead and copper rule, limiting the amount of lead in water by 1/3. Estimates vary widely on how many lead service pipes are still in the ground, but the EPA estimates more than 200,000 in Missouri and more than 54,000 in Kansas. The Natural Resources Defense Council says replacing lead service lines would avoid hundreds of billions of dollars in health expenses. The EPA is accepting public comment on the proposed rule, with plans to finalize it by next October. Newton County authorities issue a warning after some residents have been targeted by scammers purported to be from the Publishers Clearinghouse. If you have received a call from the direct marketing company in regards to winning a prize, here are some things you should know. PCH does not call ahead when you have won. It also does not require payment for you to receive your prize. These scammers will try to convince you that you've won a big cash prize or a car, but then they'll make you have a fee and pay them via a gift card. Newton County Sheriff's Office says this is a scam and you should not send any money. Authorities need help investigating the burglary of a gun store in McDonald County. The burglary occurred late last month at 3 Corners Firearms in Washburn, Missouri, and authorities say several pistols and an AR-style rifle were stolen. On Friday, the Berry County Sheriff's Office was notified that a male subject had been trying to sell some of the firearms at Ozark Beverage Company convenience store on East Highway in McDonald County. Bentonville PD confirms one of the guns sold was stolen in connection to the gun shop. Firefighters battled a blaze Sunday night in Columbus. First responders arrived to a commercial building on fire at the corner of Garfield and Railroad Street. Fire crews encountered heavy fire and smoke, but managed to put out the fire. They stayed for an additional hour to extinguish all hot spots, and no injuries were reported. Up next, have you ever wondered what Christmas was like during George Washington's time? Well, we'll have a little glimpse for you. And later, we will hear how there may be some Americans who are misdiagnosed with hypertension. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Floor and Decor, show me what you've got.
Hi, Mom.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner, helping you prepare for today's longer retirement. That's the value of ownership.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:09 on this Tuesday morning. Quick look outside from our camera, 7th and Rangeline. Got a nice looking sunrise out there. And behind this box, that's the mostly clear. Just a few clouds right now. We'll see a few more later. 39, west-northwest breeze at 10, making it feel like 32, so not bad. And that 32, well, that's where our average low is supposed to be. So can't really complain. It could be worse. You know, it's December. It's the first full week of December. We know it could be worse around here. 41, Neodesha Parsons. 40, Chanute. 39 in Fort Scott Yates Center. 41 also in Miami. 37, the Wada Veneta. 38, Neosho. And 39 in Carthage right now, with Grove as one of the warm spots at 43. We're going to have the mostly clear skies initially. Winds are going to pick up out of the northwest, gusting upwards of 25, potentially 30 miles an hour, and we'll go mid-40s by late morning. Clouds will increase just a bit as we head into the afternoon, so partly cloudy skies, breezy. Highs for most of us into the upper 40s, but some low 50s possible. Winds calm down this evening, still partly cloudy and just a pinch below normal as we go back into the upper 20s. But it's this weekend I want to talk to you about before we run out of time. So Friday, about noon, I know this is pausing at 2, but about noon, we're going to start to see a few scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. No severe risk at this point. All of that staying to our south, but a few rumbles of thunder possible as we go through Friday night and into Saturday morning. So here we are, Saturday midnight. We go into early Saturday. Few scattered showers and storms at 9 a.m. This is what we're watching. Now, this future track will update before our noon news, and we'll see what changes. But at this point, it does believe that the freezing line is going to push far enough south that we are going to be able to get in on some wintry weather across the entire area. Now, a lot's going to change between now and this weekend, but this is your heads up that we need to be paying close attention to the weekend forecast over the next several days just to see what happens with this system. Tomorrow, mid-50s, so nice. 60 Thursday, upper 50s Friday with the showers. Watching that Friday system. And even whatever we get there wouldn't last long. We go back into the 50s by next Sunday and Monday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Caitlin now for help.
Thanks, Chris. The Biden administration has announced a new financial strike force to combat the deadly fentanyl drug trade. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen made the announcement on Monday. The strike force will crack down on the illegal financial networks supporting cartels and drug traffickers. They will be done in part by streamlining personnel and resources across the Treasury Department. The announcement comes on the heels of a deal between the U.S. and China on curbing fentanyl production. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments Monday in a controversial opioid settlement that would give immunity to the Sackler family, who owned Purdue Pharma. Purdue Pharma, which introduced OxyContin, was at the center of the opioid crisis. The settlement is worth $6 billion. It would compensate victims and help fight the opioid epidemic while protecting members of the Sackler family from current and future opioid-related civil lawsuits. The question for the High Court Monday was whether the settlement complies with federal bankruptcy code. Liberal and conservative justices alike had tough questions for the Justice Department, which is challenging the plan. Some justices pointed out that the agreement has the backing of an overwhelming majority of people who would potentially bring civil suits against the Sacklers. And nearly half of all adults in the U.S. have high blood pressure, but a recent study suggests some people may be misdiagnosed with hypertension because of the way in which their blood pressure is taken. Mandy Gaither has more on the research and why a doctor says it matters where and how you sit during a blood pressure check.
In the U.S., nearly 120 million adults have high blood pressure, but recent research suggests some of them may be misdiagnosed.
If you don't get an accurate reading, you don't know what you need to do, whether it be to intensify therapy, reduce therapy, or even if somebody's hypertensive.
In research presented to the American Heart Association, Dr. Randy Wexler with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says millions of people with normal blood pressure may be told their levels are too high because the patients are not in the proper place or position during the reading.
That leaves open the possibility that there are either a lot of people being diagnosed with high blood pressure who may not actually have it, or you have somebody who has high blood pressure and is controlled, but you're intensifying therapy, which may not need to be intensified.
American Heart Association guidelines call for patients to be seated in a chair with their back supported and feet flat on the floor, wearing the blood pressure cuff at heart level. 30 minutes before the blood pressure check, there should be no smoking, no caffeine, and no exercise. The patient should also sit still for 5 minutes beforehand.
It doesn't take a lot of change in blood pressure to have large impacts.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you're taking your blood pressure at home, the American Heart Association says to keep a log of your readings and bring it to every checkup. The organization also suggests bringing the blood pressure device in yearly to make sure it is accurate. Virginia College are taking on the challenge of creating specialized toys for kids with disabilities.
Crossing Casino brings you the ultimate entertainment experience. Voted the area
of not checking it. The gift of connection at US Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
During the holidays, we often get a glimpse of what Christmas was like before modern times. But have you ever wondered what Christmas was like during the Revolutionary War? Well, Rafi Andonian is with us today to share what it would be like to spend Christmas with George Washington. Thank you for joining us.
Great time to be here for holidays, George Washington.
Yes.
I've been dreaming about a white Christmas.
There it is. All right, you are such a history buff, so tell us, what is the whole backstory here?
Well, George Washington did have a white Christmas in 1776. Funny enough, that song applies, even though it was a couple hundred years before. And what he did was he crossed the Delaware River. You may have seen the famous painting, you're seeing it on your screen right now, where he's crossing the Delaware River. That's a white Christmas. There's ice in the river, there's snow. He crosses on Christmas Day, 1776, surprises the British in a dark moment of the Revolution. Didn't look good for the revolutionary cause, but because he surprised them, they get a string of victories after that to turn around the revolutionary cause. So George Washington's work on Christmas Day literally helped save independence. Now, what's fascinating about that is years after that, when independence was won, he also turned in his commission as a Christmas gift to Congress just a couple days before Christmas in the 1780s, saying, I want to return the power that you gave to me as a military officer, which also set an important precedent for the United States. So Christmas and George Washington, really important in American history.
Fascinating. And tell us, what were some of the traditions and celebrations?
Well, let's say now you go to his home. This is an example of a dish that you would have. It's called a Yorkshire Christmas pie, or a Yorkshire pie. It's an English dish. This is actually George Washington's recipe that I brought in and made. You can find the recipe at noshingswithnicole.com. And this is how you would work this, because there are many accounts at his home of doing this. So you pop a little hole. This is like a chicken pot pie, but with bacon, pork, turkey, all kinds of meat in it. Because look at this. Now we're going to work the gravy in there. And it slowly works in there. And you can find that recipe and make it. It's straight out of George Washington's home. There are many accounts to it. Now what's important here is Christmas back then is they would actually have a lot of feasts, a lot of meat, like this has multiple animals in there. They'd have 2 courses, and that seems like not a lot, but each course had multiple parts. Each part had multiple dishes. And so as a result, they'd have 20 to 40 dishes as a part of their Christmas feast. This is the kind of stuff they did in the American Revolution. Virginians were copying English. And in England, the 12 days of Christmas, they would celebrate drinking with balls, masquerades, much feasting. This is the kind of Christmas that they had. New England didn't like that. Massachusetts actually banned Christmas, but the southern United States and Virginia, they copied the English and did this sort of thing. So you can actually have a taste of Christmas like you taste grandma going back to American history, having a taste with the father of the country.
It's incredible. Well, thank you so much. Always just a wealth of knowledge. How fun. And I love this whole Christmas theme. Thank you so much for joining us as always. And stick around because we got more news coming up after this.
Value Homes in Neosho is having an inventory reduction sale.
Talk to your OBGYN or other healthcare provider about Pfizer's maternal RSV vaccine, Abrysvo.
Well, kids with disabilities don't regularly see toys that represent them. Now a group of college students in Roanoke, Virginia are trying to do something about that issue.
Amaya Howard tells us how the group is modifying toys to be more inclusive this holiday season.
Toys Like Me at Roanoke College is a group of students and faculty modifying toys to reflect kids with disabilities and medical issues. Roanoke College professor Frances McCutcheon founded the not-for-profit 7 years ago.
The kids get the toys before their surgery, and the toys are explained to them. The surgery is explained to them on the toy, which is more respectful in many cases, especially for kids who don't like to be touched.
Like, you go to the store, you don't really see many toys with disabilities. It's nice to have something that looks and represents you.
Victoria Fobb is a senior at Roanoke College. She's been a part of Toy Like Me since her freshman year.
Making their Christmas normal would be one word, but I think the word we prefer is inclusive. That their Christmas is just like anybody else's Christmas.
Fobb's mom is a teacher for kids with disabilities. She says she's happy there's a community effort to making kids feel seen.
So I've always kind of been around kids with disabilities, but it means a lot to me that there's an organization like this that helps modify toys.
The donations to the Rail Yard Dogs come to us, we modify them, and then we send them on to Carillion. So it's a whole community effort now.
The toys will go to kids at Carillion's Hospital during Roanoke College's exam week before Christmas.
When the kids are smiling and laughing and their parents haven't seen them smile in so long, or they're coming out of surgery and they're in pain, but this little smile comes out, it means so much to the moms and dads too.
The kids should get those toys in time for Christmas. So
how wonderful.
It is. And I know that there's been some other organizations that are working to try and make more inclusive toys that are more representative of everyone.
Absolutely, Chris. And we got plenty of toys here that hopefully all the children of the 4 states can enjoy and feel represented by. So
absolutely.
That should be exciting here. And for our Toy Box Telethon happening today at noon. So be sure to tune in for that later today. And coming up, teachers in Missouri may be seeing a raise in 2024. Chris Bryant will have more details.
And as you can see, there's a cloud, there's a couple more. That's what we mean by mostly clear. It's going to be mostly clear through the morning, increasing clouds slightly later. We'll take another look at that forecast when we come back.
In your life where work is actually fun? Midcon Cables Company offers a 4-day work week with family-oriented flexible schedules available. Call Midcon Cables today.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:28 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Drivers in Jasper County can expect some delays next week. Beginning Sunday the 10th and running through Thursday, MoDOT crews will replace some signs. Northbound Route 249 to northbound Route 171 ramp to Webb City will be closed during nighttime hours, and one lane will be closed on northbound Route 249 to southbound Route 171 ramp to Carthage. Construction will take place from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Be alert for MoDOT workers and message boards. And some good news for drivers in Kansas. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,000 gas stations in Kansas, the average price for a gallon of gas continues to drop. Since last week, gas prices on average in the Sunflower State have dropped more than 7 cents. This is part of a national trend as gas prices around the country have fallen on average 4 cents in the last week. Newton County yesterday honored its long-term employees. The county recognized 17 employees, each with at least 5 years of service. This is a state award from the Missouri Association of Counties. Officials say it's important to appreciate all the hard work of our county employees.
We appreciate our employees, every one of them, but every 5 years we do an appreciation deal for the people who've been here 5 years, 10 years, 15, and 20. Our longest one this time was 25 years. We had one of the officers, sergeants, whatever, from the Sheriff's Department that had been here 25 years.
The ceremony was held at the Newton County Courthouse in Neosho. Freeman Health System yesterday recognized the hard work of some graduate nurses. Freeman hosted a signing day event to honor 27 nurses. They've all completed 2 years of schooling on their way to becoming licensed nurses. Many of the nurses already work for Freeman with plans to move to higher positions once they're done with school.
So we truly love all of the people that we hire, but of course hiring a nurse is amazing because they are going to be the ones that you're going to see mostly whenever you come to Freeman. So they're the ones that we love to hire. They play a big role as long as others that are in the health system, and so this is just one thing that we can do to celebrate them.
The graduate nurses come from 3 area nursing programs: Crowder College, Carthage Technical Center, and Fort Scott Community College.
And we've got a fairly decent start to our day across the area. Taking a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Got just a few clouds out there, and it'll be that way through the morning. Then we'll see a few more clouds as we head into the afternoon. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as well. We take a look at temperatures outside. 39 in Joplin, 38 in Pittsburgh with plentiful sunshine out there. As we head through today, again, clouds will increase just a bit. We're going to go partly cloudy into the afternoon and evening hours. Northwest wind is going to start picking up through the mid-morning hours here and start gusting at roughly 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. Winds will come down this evening. Our overnight lows look to be a pinch below average, and then we're keeping an eye on a weather system this weekend. We'll talk about all that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. 2024 could be the year some Missouri teachers get a boost in pay. Members of both the House and Senate filed bills to raise the state minimum to $38,000 a year. Chris Bryant has a reaction from the Missouri State Teachers Association.
We've certainly said that we need to have a starting salary that is, and actually a starting salary that's above $38,000, and that needs to be in statute.
Now lawmakers in Missouri are trying to do that. 2 bills, one in the House, the other in the Senate, both want to raise starting pay.
Currently, the minimum teacher salary is $25,000 in the state of Missouri. This would increase that minimum to $38,000.
Teachers in the state who have a master's degree and at least 10 years experience would see their base pay rise from $33,000 to $44,000 with increases the following years. Both Arthur and Fuller say teachers in the state need more support both in their communities and in Jefferson City.
We need to have that local support in community-wide and then also statewide as well.
It has to be a priority. It has to be the district's priority, and it has to be the priority of the state legislature.
Getting a bill through both the House and the Senate is only one hurdle. The State Teachers Association says Missouri is competing with neighboring states and other careers when it comes to recruiting.
If we don't have competitive salaries, then teachers are going to find other opportunities and other positions, other things that they can do in the state. And time has already shown that they're going to be able to get those jobs because they're great employees.
While larger districts may be able to absorb the added cost of a mandated higher salary for teachers, smaller districts could have difficulty meeting that higher salary.
It does create a fund that the state legislature could appropriate funding into, and then schools would be able to draw down to help cover some of the costs for those hard-to-fill positions.
The General Assembly is set to start on Wednesday, January 3rd. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The holiday season can cause a lot of stress. We'll have tips on how to keep your holiday spirit bright.
All right, we will also join us and have a happy Thanksgiving and also a very Merry Christmas from the IMAX.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, and I certainly hope you're hungry because we've got Charlene Patton out from the Kansas Soybean Commission from Topeka. It's so great to have you back here in the studio again this week. I love berries. I love anything berries, and we've got an amazing berry dessert here.
We sure do. You know, in September, we had the Heart Healthy Recipe Contest at the Kansas State Fair, and this is the first place winner in the dessert division. And I saved it for December because I thought this would be a great holiday dessert. We're always looking for recipes that are easy to do during the holidays and serve several people. So this one is got to put it on your list.
And yeah, Joyce Conard here.
Yes, and I believe she's from Hutchison. So
okay,
she won
so this is an amazing looking recipe so far. So I'm looking forward to diving into this.
So this right here is our tofu. And what I did was it calls for a 14-ounce package of tofu. Firm tofu, and take it out of the package. You actually put a paper towel underneath of it, one on top of it, and get that water out. You can put a pan on top of it to kind of push it down, get all that extra water out, and then we mix that with cream cheese.
Okay.
And she used just regular cream cheese, but you could use soy cream cheese in this recipe too.
Okay.
And have that goodness of the soy. So you can see I did this in the food processor, but I'm putting it in the bowl here, so now you can see what we're doing. Then this is our mixed berries, and this is one 16-ounce package of mixed berries.
Okay.
And then we mix that in a skillet with some sugar and some cornstarch and thickened it. So I'm going to add that to this, and we're going to mix this in. Oh, and that makes just such a nice, rich filling here. And boy, it has the colors of Christmas, doesn't it?
It does.
We'll mix that together. And then I'm going to let you, that is whipping cream.
Okay.
She said to save time to use an 8-ounce package of whipped topping, but you could use real whipped cream if you wanted to too. Now go ahead and
we just add that right in
just
here.
Add that in.
Okay.
We're going to stir that in. Oh,
We want to
great.
get all of that in there.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go, and we'll just stir that in, and that is all there is to it. This is our graham cracker crust. And it is actually, she had 2.5 packages of graham crackers and then 2 sticks of butter, margarine that she mixed together. But what I did is I measured it out, and to save time, you can buy just graham cracker crumbs that are already crushed for you, and it's 3 cups. So we'll add that to the recipe. So look how pretty that is.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Beautiful colors and beautiful berries.
Beautiful berries. So we'll put that in there.
Okay.
And refrigerate it. And then here we have the display. And I love it because we topped it with the berries that are in there. There's some raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, and a little bit of strawberries. Makes a beautiful dessert that you can have for the holidays.
It looks incredible. So, of course, if folks want this recipe or any of the others, what do they need to do?
Go to kansassoybeans.org, or they can also call that 800 number and get the recipe right now, 877-KS-SOYBEAN, and we'll send them all the recipes for December.
All right, Charlene, thank you so much for coming down again for us. And, of course, you'll be back next week and every week after that. And if any of you folks missed this at home, don't worry, we'll have the information on our website as well, KOAMnewsnow.com. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Why can't we go out in the community and do good too?
100%. Well, Austin, hey, thanks for another great year on the Finance Files.
Yep.
As always, we appreciate your partnership.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:41, about 14 seconds from 7:42 on this Tuesday morning. We've got sunny skies. We have the mostly clear skies because you can see a few clouds out there. We're sitting at 39 in Joplin. Feels like 32 with a west-northwest breeze at 10. And here in the next hour or so, that northwest breeze is going to start picking up, gusting upwards of 25, maybe even 30 miles an hour. 37 Iola, Pittsburgh, 41 Parsons, 42 Neodesha, 42 Miami. At 39, Lamar and Carthage right now. Get our morning started. Again, mostly clear skies. The winds will start picking up, and our temperatures are going to make about the mid-40s by late morning. Highs today for most of us just a wee bit below average as we go into the upper 40s. But, of course, out west, some low 50s, absolutely possible. Partly cloudy skies out there, and as we head into the evening, those winds will calm back down. There'll still be some winds blowing. They'll just be a lot calmer, and we'll stay partly cloudy through the evening and overnight. And, again, just a wee bit below average out there as we fall back into the upper 20s. I remember our average low right in the low 30s, so not too bad. Let's talk about this weekend. Friday. This is pausing at 2, but about noon is when we're going to start to see a few isolated showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Not anticipating any severe weather with this. The severe threat at this point is going to be confined down to our south in Arkansas, parts of Texas and Louisiana, but a few isolated thunderstorms will be possible with this activity as we go through Friday afternoon, evening, and into early Saturday morning. And then take a look at 9 a.m. What's knocking on our back door? Some snow, some wintry precipitation. Now, this has changed since last night, and it'll update between now and our noon newscast, so I guarantee you it's going to change again. But right now, it's given us the possibility of some wintry precipitation across the area as we head through Saturday evening and into a very early Sunday morning. So lots of variables still in play, but something we want to watch very closely as we head into this upcoming weekend. Warmer tomorrow, mid-50s, 60 on Thursday, upper 50s Friday, the showers, that wintry mix possibility on Saturday, but whatever we get may not last long as we go back into the 50s for Sunday and Monday. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with the check of Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Most business economists think the U.S. could avoid a recession in 2024, according to a new survey. Only 24% say they see a recession next year as more likely than not. That survey by the National Association for Business Economics indicates a majority of economists believe the Federal Reserve can successfully get inflation under control through high interest rates while keeping the economy growing. And this 1914 baseball card is now the most expensive Babe Ruth memorabilia ever sold. The former Home Run King's rookie card was auctioned off to an unidentified buyer for $7.2 million. The card, showing Ruth as a 19-year-old pitcher, is one of only 10 still in existence. And this time of the year, most hotels roll out lavish decorations, and some offer extra special suites to really immerse guests in the holiday spirit. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette reports from New York on a few places to find that holiday cheer.
Flip a switch to turn on the magic of Christmas inside this suite at the Hilton New York Times Square, surrounded by walls adorned with peppermints and jars full of all-you-can-eat candy, washed down with liquid treats from a hot cocoa bar. What's on TV is equally sweet after a spin at Christmas karaoke. Holiday love stories on the Hallmark Channel.
I'm going to meet his parents for the first time.
The Hallmark Channel Countdown to Christmas suite, featuring an equally decked out bathroom and bedroom, is also available at Hilton Americas Houston and Hilton Chicago.
It's truly magical. If you walk in here, you can just feel the spirit of the holidays.
Here in New York City, there's also the FAO suite at Omni Berkshire Place. It's filled with toys from nearby FAO Schwartz, including one that helps guests recreate the iconic scene from the movie Big.
Kids or kids at heart enter a monster of a room. 1,300 square feet filled with a curated collection of toys from the famous store.
This is the hardest place in New York City to leave for children. Once they come to the hotel and experience the suite, they don't want to go home.
Toy soldiers watch over fresh cookies and milk for Santa. And there's a bottle for the older set to enjoy while listening to records of Christmas classics. If a Chicago Christmas puts a fire in your heart, the 2,000 square foot presidential suite at Swiss Hotel, where we stayed for a special rate, offers 17 festive furs. styled to fit this year's holiday jewel theme.
We were looking for something that was fun and bright and colorful.
The room gets cozier to settle in for a long winter's night with a cocoa from the Build Your Own bar and view of the sparkling city. Morning brings a personal breakfast buffet for a very merry wake-up in the 41st floor perch. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The FAO Schwartz Suite in New York City is available year-round. And we'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Hello, I'm Ry Addis, and welcome back.
Will look like when it gets here, but Doug Hetty does. Get Doug's complete winter weather forecast this Wednesday during KOAM News at 6 and 9, and be prepared.
The magic of the holidays doesn't come without a sprinkling of stress. With the pressure of travel, buying gifts, and dealing with the shorter days in the cold, all taking their toll on countless people this season.
Fox News correspondent Anita Vogel is unwrapping advice from psychology experts on how you can manage the holiday headaches.
While the holidays are supposed to be filled with happiness,
hit the switch!
They can also come with their fair share of stress and loneliness, with shorter and colder days, hectic travel, and the pressure to buy gifts and more, causing anxiety for many. A new survey from the American Psychological Association reveals 43% of U.S. adults say the holiday stress gets so overwhelming it impacts their ability to enjoy the festivities. Because many of our calendars get overbooked during this time of year, it can throw off our standard routines. Anna Baker of Clemson University recommends sticking to a schedule and making time to exercise to blow off some steam. But if you're feeling down and out, increasing positive social interactions could help you get into the spirit, especially when the American Psychological Association found 38% of adults become stressed over missing family and friends during the holidays.
Gathering in general is usually good for our mental health, and it gets us out of the house, around others.
And while you may not get along with every person at a holiday gathering, Baker says mentally preparing for the event ahead of time can help you alleviate panic.
I know that I'm seeing these family members. I know it tends to be stressful. Just being aware of those situations and knowing that you're making a choice and feeling empowered and that, you know, it's not going to last forever.
Health experts say you should avoid harmful coping mechanisms such as isolation, overeating, or turning to alcohol and drugs to handle the holiday stress. Anita Vogel, Fox News.
Good advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the holidays can be stressful. Sometimes, the holidays can be stressful because you have to go see these people. Now, sometimes you don't want to go see some of those people. You just want to stay home, but there's that obligation.
You gotta do it. Take one for the team.
But remember, the holidays just come this one time a year, and then we get back to our normal routine.
That's true.
Things will level out later. Let's take another quick look at your forecast, shall we? Outside right now, downtown Joplin, our camera on top of the Cornell complex. There's one stray cloud in this particular angle. That's what we call mostly clear. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as well. Plentiful sunshine out there. And we are sitting at 39 in Joplin, 38 in Pittsburgh with just a few clouds here and there. We'll see the clouds increase a bit, going partly cloudy by the afternoon and into the evening hours out there. Our highs today are going to make the upper 40s, but again, a few of us, especially out west, could reach the low 50s, so we're not that far off of average. The one thing that's a challenge is the fact that we're going to have winds gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour out of the northwest, so it's going to make it feel a little bit colder out there. We do have some warmer weather on the way. We also have some potential wintry weather heading into this weekend. We'll look at all that when the KOAM Morning News returns, as well as the news you need to know. We'll be right back.
Value Homes in Neosho is having an inventory.
Native served his country with duty, honor, and valor across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. We are proud to salute William Brady, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Firefighters battled a blaze Sunday night in Columbus. First responders arrived at a commercial building on fire at the corner of Garfield and Railroad Street. Fire crews encountered heavy fire and smoke but managed to put out the fire. They stayed for an additional hour to extinguish all hot spots and no injuries were reported. Newton County authorities issue a warning after some residents have been targeted by scammers purported to be from Publishers Clearinghouse. If you have received a call from the direct marketing company in regards to winning a prize, here are some things you should know. PCH does not call ahead when you have won. It also does not require payment for you to receive your prize. These scammers will try convincing you that you've won a big cash prize and ask you to pay them a fee via a gift card. Newton County Sheriff's Office says this is a scam and you should not send money.
And we want to quickly recap this upcoming weekend. Friday, about noon, we're going to start to see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area, and these will increase in coverage. No severe weather expected, but again, a couple of thunderstorms possible as we go through Friday evening into Saturday morning. Then we're watching this big batch of potential snow. Now, at this point, even this isn't showing high accumulations. It's barely showing any at all, but by Saturday evening, we could see a transition to some wintry weather across the area. So it's something we're going to keep a close eye on, and we'll have updated data for the KOAM News at noon as that will continue to update over the next several days. Outside of that, again, upper 40s today, mid 50s tomorrow, 60 Thursday, showers, storms Friday, but wintry possible mix on Saturday. But if we do get any wintry weather Saturday, it doesn't last long. We go back into the 50s for next Sunday and Monday.
All right. Well, Airbnb is offering the chance for one family to spend the holidays in the world's official Santa Claus post office and stay in Santa's cabin in Finland.
The post office, located in Rovaniemi, northern Finland, receives over 30,000 letters daily from children and adults around the world. Guests will be given a crash course in elfing by Katja and will work with her to help sort through the letters.
Visitors to the Winter Wonderland will also lend a hand emptying mailboxes and helping the elves to stamp the posts with the special Arctic Circle postmark.
Certainly something fascinating. To be
So
able to go up there
fun,
and
right?
spend some time at Santa's workshop, you know?
Once in a lifetime experience.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather and our Toy Box Tuesday telethon at noon.
That's right. Have a great rest of your day.